Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Tan, for your introduction. May I also greet Mr. John Tan and the other officials of the Federation, His Excellency Ambassador Song Tao, and the other friends from the People's Republic of China, members of the Cabinet, our host mayor in Manila, Mayor Lim, our distinguished Filipino-Chinese members of the legislature, Congressman Ong and Congresswoman Angping, our awardees, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to our Chinese friends and our Filipino-Chinese friends on the anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our two countries. It was my honor when I was co-chairman then of the Association for Philippines-China Understanding to have been among those who worked for our diplomatic relations 33 years ago. In recognition of the friendship between our two peoples that has existed for centuries. And as mentioned by our speakers earlier, again, it was my honor to sign Presidential Proclamation number 148 in 2002 to celebrate June 9 of every year as Filipino-Chinese Friendship Day in recognition of the indelible bonds between our two countries that has enriched Philippine life for so long. Since that day, that first celebration of Filipino-Chinese Friendship Day in June of 2002, since then, our overall relations with China have become more confident, mature, and comprehensive. Our relations are punctuated with substantial and important projects aimed at deepening exchanges in many areas, including trade, investment, and official development assistance. China is currently our largest export market today. We have a trade surplus with China since 2002. Our framework agreement on expanding and deepening bilateral economic and trade cooperation further enhances our bilateral merchandise trade with China. Tonight's commemoration of friendship, expanding trade, and economic cooperation assumes greater significance in the grim shadow of the tragedy that struck Sichuan province a few weeks ago. We share in the suffering of our Chinese brethren. In behalf of the Filipino nation, we reiterate our heartfelt sympathies to the earthquake victims, but we know that the Chinese people, under the leadership of President Hu Jintao and Premier Wen Jiabao, will recover swiftly from this tragedy, rebuild their lives, and march on toward greater progress. We wish China our best as it hosts the Beijing Olympics. This global event will showcase what China can offer as the fastest growing economy in the region and in the world. Tonight, as we witnessed the awards given to many of the leaders of the Filipino-Chinese business community for their contributions to the Federation's projects, tonight is a good occasion to thank our organizer, the Federation of Filipino-Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry, not only for hosting this and many other events to deepen the friendship between our two countries, but also for the immense contribution of the Federation and its members to Philippine economic and social life. Your contribution and support are especially vital at this time when the high price of fuel and food is a global problem affecting the poor and middle classes all over the world. The volatility of the price of rice is a challenge faced by countries around the world. The Philippine government is working hard to solve the rice and price issues facing our country and our people. Our efforts to address this challenge are focused on doing whatever is possible to ensure access to supply of rice at fair prices. Our rice are one of our two Filipino-Chinese in the cabinet, Secretary Arthur Yap, the other being Secretary Ray Chua of ICT. RTF has secured adequate supplies of rice for current needs. We have secured adequate supplies of rice for our needs for the rest of the year from both domestically produced rice and from imports. Further imports of rice will be made when prices and conditions are acceptable to expand buffer stocks. Our current target is consistent with our historic approach to buffer stocks. We will do everything in our power to stabilize and lower prices and to crack down on price cheaters. Our actions include providing NFA rice at subsidized prices to those members of our society who are most vulnerable. They also include working with the local government units, like Mayor Lim, I hope, faith-based organizations, and others to carry out targeted distribution of NFA rice. Rice traders and others who carry out price gouging and hoarding are criminals who demonstrate by their action that they have no concern for the plight of their countrymen. We will work diligently to continue to track down and prosecute them until these anti-Filipino practices are stopped. Actions we are taking in this regard include the filing of charges against 73 traders and against the regional directors of NFA of Regions 5 and 10, the NFA provincial managers of North Cotabato, Camarines Sur, and Misamis Oriental, the assistant provincial manager of Misamis Oriental. We are focused by our distribution, supply, and enforcement efforts on both fair prices today and fair prices in the years to come. The new economics of global food security now make it imperative that we control our own destiny in terms of rice. We are taking control of our food supply. We are working with all levels of government in our country, with multilateral agencies and our other development partners, and with the private sector to achieve rice self-sufficiency in 5 years from now. Our longer-term efforts to promote rice self-sufficiency will also ensure that we will no longer have to rely on expensive imports to meet our country's needs for this important commodity. The actions we are taking to achieve self-sufficiency include providing unprecedented amounts of investment in fertilizers, in irrigation and other infrastructure, in agricultural education, extension, and equipment, in dryers and other post-harvest facilities, and in seeds. As the government increases our programs to cushion our people from the pain of price shocks, we hope that the FFCCCI will continue to believe firmly in our economic reforms and will continue to be a strong partner of our social and economic development programs. And as we continue down the path of greater regional, economic, and security cooperation, we are confident that our relations with the People's Republic of China will become even stronger. Once again, to our Chinese and our Filipino-Chinese friends, 谢谢, thank you. Thank you.